Psychology shows that people who quietly give up on others are often misunderstood. They're not heartless, they're not cold, and they're definitely not emotionless. The truth is, they usually cared too much for too long. When someone stops explaining, stops arguing, and stops reaching out, it doesn't mean they never cared. It means they reached their emotional limit. If you've ever walked away without closure, without confrontation, and without drama, it's not because something is wrong with you. There are real psychological reasons behind it, and they go deeper than most people realize. 1. You tried to communicate and felt unheard. Think back for a moment. How many times did you explain how you felt, only to feel dismissed, minimized, or misunderstood? People who give up silently usually didn't leave suddenly. They spoke, they clarified, they waited. Psychology shows that when emotional needs are repeatedly ignored, the brain eventually stops investing energy. Not out of anger, but out of self-protection. You didn't go quiet because you didn't care. You went quiet because nothing changed. 2. You noticed patterns, not just mistakes. Have you ever realized you weren't reacting to one incident, but a pattern? People who walk away silently are highly observant. They notice repeated behavior, broken promises, and subtle disrespect long before others do. Your mind connects dots. And once a pattern becomes clear, continuing to hope feels emotionally dishonest. So instead of arguing again, you step back. Not because you gave up too easily, but because you finally saw the truth clearly. 3. You value peace more than proving a point. Some people fight to be understood. Others choose peace when understanding feels impossible. If you give up quietly, it's often because emotional conflict drains you deeply. Psychology calls this emotional cost awareness, when the brain recognizes that continued engagement causes more harm than healing. You don't need the last word. You just need your nervous system to feel safe again. 4. You stop explaining when you feel emotionally unsafe. Have you ever felt like being honest would only be used against you later? People who disengage silently often learn that vulnerability isn't always safe. When emotions are ignored, mocked, or weaponized, the brain adapts. Instead of sharing more, you share less. Instead of confronting, you withdraw. This isn't avoidance, it's learned emotional survival. 5. You emotionally detach before you physically leave. To outsiders, it may look sudden, but internally, the separation happened long before the goodbye. Psychology shows that emotional detachment is a gradual process. Each disappointment, each unmet expectation, slowly lowers emotional investment. By the time you walk away, your heart has already made peace. That's why you don't chase. That's why you don't explain anymore. You're not cruel, you're already finished grieving. 6. You don't believe everyone deserves unlimited access to you. People who give up quietly often have strong internal boundaries. They understand that effort should be mutual. Psychology refers to this as self-respecting disengagement. Knowing when to stop giving without needing permission. You don't disappear to punish anyone. You leave because continuing would mean abandoning yourself. And you've learned that loyalty to others should never require self-betrayal. 7. You've learned that closure doesn't always come from conversations. Not every ending comes with an apology. Not every relationship ends with understanding. People who give up silently understand something painful but true. Closure is sometimes internal. Instead of waiting for someone else to validate your experience, you validate it yourself. You accept what happened. You accept what didn't. And then you move on. Quietly, but completely. 8. You feel deeply, even when you walk away calmly. Silence doesn't mean lack of emotion. It often means emotion that has nowhere left to go. People who disengage quietly usually feel things intensely. They just don't perform their pain for others. They process internally. They heal privately. And they let go without turning their wounds into a spectacle. 9. You don't give up on people easily, only finally. Here's the truth most people miss. If you walked away silently, it wasn't impulsive. You stayed longer than you should have. You hoped longer than was healthy. You forgave more than was fair. And when you finally let go, It was because there was nothing left to give. Not because you didn't care, but because you cared enough to stop hurting yourself. Giving up on people silently doesn't mean you're cold. It means you're emotionally aware. You know when effort turns into neglect. You know when connection turns into exhaustion. And you know when walking away is the kindest thing you can do for yourself. People like you don't leave loudly. You leave thoughtfully. And when you do form connections, they're deep, intentional, and real. Sometimes the people who walk away quietly are the ones who loved the hardest and learned the most. If you want more psychology insights that help you understand yourself on a deeper level, help me to hit that subscribe button, because the next video might explain a part of you that you've never been able to put into words. See you on the next video.